be known by the confidence.
Hi there, my name's Tirsi Engelhart, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So, thank you once again for being here. Every week, I make sure I start out appreciating that you're here, a part of this podcast, a part of the conversations that we're engaging in. I wouldn't be here without you. And so, yeah, grateful. Some of you have been with me for a long time now. Some of you may be listening for the first time, wherever you are on that spectrum. I'm grateful to have you, so welcome. I just want to remind you that I'm not here because I have your answers. I'm simply sharing tidbits of wisdom gleaned from my 40 years of recovering from living as an addict, struggling with an eating disorder from 16 years old to 36. And this is my 40th year of recovery. So I learned from other people's stories, and it's my hope that you'll learn something by sharing mine. Something that'll help you take your next step in becoming the person that you were created and designed to be, rather than the default character that most of us become, trying to avoid whatever mistakes we made in the past, or not wanting to be hurt, or not wanting to hurt anyone else. And so we live a protected lifestyle, so to speak, rather than a fully heart open one. And that's my hope for all of us. Okay, so, wow, what a week. This particular episode is called Suffering and Love. Do they go hand in hand? And we've had some amazing conversations this week. I've talked to a couple that had reunited and got close to making a commitment and then backed away. I've caught up on some other friends' relationships and what they're dealing with. I've had people say, why get married? It's just a contract. And so many questions. And then my sister shared so beautifully when my husband asked her what was the biggest surprise of her being here, living with us. And somewhere in the midst of all of that, I don't know that it was so much one of the big surprises, but she commented that it's really great to see how well my husband and I navigate our relationship. And that she doesn't see that very often. And so I just want to share a little bit. Somebody was talking earlier today about, avoiding suffering, that people have suffered in relationship. And so I want to speak to that a little bit. Also, first of all, I want to let you know that this particular round of chemotherapy that my sister had, we both agree was much better than the previous one. She's more than halfway. And we're hoping, for those of you that are following along on this journey, we're hoping that she's going to get a scan on this next series, and we'll be able to determine the impact of this, and hopefully that the tumor is shrinking and she gets some encouragement for it's worth it. Because it's definitely a process, but it was better, and we're grateful for that. So anyway, she was commenting on our relationship, and then my husband and I both told examples and stories of that. And we both know that we work really well together. We complement each other in lots of ways. And I just want you to know that we've worked to learn to do that. And someone was talking about avoiding suffering and not getting married or not committing. And it got me thinking that I actually don't believe that it's possible to experience this unconditional love flow that I believe is available for all of us. The consistently letting more love in and consistently letting more love out without judging, assessing, evaluating, calculating, without that. Just opening up and letting this love that loves you just the way you are in, and letting love that can love others just the way they are out. But I don't believe that we can get to the place where we have access to that and that more consistent flow without experiencing some suffering. But I want to say something about that. See, I think the suffering is the letting go of some of our egoic attachments. The letting go feels like suffering, like a surrender, uh, like a undoing of something that we think we need or is necessary, or that we think identifies us or creates and defines our life. And to let go of that is scary because we want to hold on. You can't experience this inflow and outflow of love holding on. You only experience it in motion, in movement. Like breath, you can't experience the consistent inhale and exhale if you're holding your breath. And eventually, if you hold your breath long enough, you'll get exasperated. You'll have to take a breath and kind of catch up, recover from the holding on. I think the suffering that goes hand in hand with the consistent flow of unconditional love is releasing, letting go of the control, the need, even the desire to have some, I don't know what that is, to have some say in the matter of it, to have it make sense, to have it satisfy mentally, physically, emotionally. I think we want to know, or even to understand. And sometimes I think the flow of love that I'm referencing here is more mysterious than we're designed to live in. It's more in that unknown. It can't be grasped and held. And so when people say they want to love, but they want to avoid suffering, I think they're in that holding on phase, which ultimately brings its own suffering, but we can convince ourselves that we're playing it safe or protecting ourselves from hurt or harm, when in reality, I think what we're really doing is restricting our ability to let more love in, and thus to also let more love out. And that's what I believe we're here to do. So I want to invite you this week to see if you can't expand your capacity to be in that unknowing. I think I told you earlier on, in my early days of recovery, I spent a whole year saying I don't know to every single question that was asked of me. And I was a mom with young children, and they ask a lot of questions. But there's something powerful that's available in not knowing. And I think the access to this flow of love, this unconditional love, I think the access to it is probably not needing, not knowing, not holding, not defining, but just being with and letting more love in, the knowingness of being loved, and the freedom and the ability to love in return. And so that's what I want to practice. That's the exercise this week. When you breathe in, let more love in. And when you exhale, let more love out. Okay? See if you can't do that all week long. And I will be here next week And I look forward to seeing you then. And if you want to share your experience with me, you can do so in the chat, in email, or go to my website directly and let me know. Okay? Have a beautiful week being loved and loving. I'll see you soon.